Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Serpent. So we failed to break the 11 cents and then we retrace. What does that mean? What is going on? What is happening? I mean, so cool. So cool to see the momentum shift, where the entire industry is going. We're going to cover a whole bunch of things today in regards to VeChain, just to make sure you guys are aware about where we are right now, what it means, the fact that we didn't break the 11 cents, and what happens next. Of course, VET fails to break the 11 cents, a retracement to follow before another attempt. It's a great article. It's a great question. It's a question that I want to answer. And of course, when you see a price spike and the amount of days consecutively that VeChain has gone up, and then you see it hit resistance, you wonder. Of course, it's normal. It's normal to consider all options and to consider what does it mean for you. Are you going to be able to find a new entry point? I hope over the weekend you've been doing your research on it, and just in general the entire market. I mean, we've had since mid-April, but I do believe that now people are going to start to wake up and come back into the market, which I would have wished you'd done it 6 weeks ago, but I'm glad you're here and I'm glad that you want to learn now. And that's the most important thing. Are you late to the party? Absolutely not. You are not late to the VeChain party. If you were wondering that, I just wanted to get it out of the way. So VET pushed away from 9 cents support yesterday, hit the 10 cents mark, and then, at the 11 cents, it hit a retrace. Now, from a price analysis point of view, that's not a problem. Like, nothing goes up vertically, and this is a classic example of that. And today I'll cover off what I think from an indicator point of view about where we're going, and what does it mean, the fact that we didn't hit 11, we hit 11 cents and we took off. So Yahoo Finance, it's very interesting, to hear some of the comments and, what people are saying on there and, how they think about the market. And, it's really, really fascinating to watch. Everyone has an opinion on the internet. And what I want to do right now is to say to you, it's great that you're here. Really, really appreciate it. But please do not make this the only source of your strategy. And I appreciate the comments overnight saying, hey, everything that you said was going to happen happened. But that doesn't mean that one person's opinion is always going to be right. And so you got to listen to me, do your own research, listen to a couple other people, and then put all those pieces together and come up with your own assumption and your level of risk of how much you want to risk in the market. So be very, very mindful of that. Now, when we did hit the retrace, I'll cover off what does it mean and how it's going to go. But I do want to mention as well that from a China perspective, VeChain, Neo, Quantum, and Tron are all very, very big in China at the moment. And we've started to talk about Quant in the channel, but Quantum is different to Quant. So I just want to make sure Neo and Tron I haven't really touched on the channel, because there's one thing about the Crypto Serpent channel: if it's not in my portfolio, I'm not going to talk to you about it. I think that's extremely dangerous when channels talk about things that they don't even have any skin in the game. And if I do happen to put them in my account, then by all means, I will be making videos about them. But until I have skin in the game, I'm not going to be coming on here and telling you what you should do in those particular cryptocurrencies. Now, what I think can happen from here is not that much of a retrace, right? So, I think it'll be like a tiny retrace, and then we'll be heading off past the 11 cents and beyond. So be very, very mindful that this hitting the resistance here doesn't mean that it's going to go down to like 8, 9 cents again or 7 cents. No. It's going to be a small retrace, and then we're going to be kicking off again, because we are at the beginning of wave 5, and wave 5 goes for a while. It's not going to... This isn't a overnight thing. This is going to go for quite some time. And so I just want you to be prepared for that, because often what happens in the industry is sometimes you can get caught up, right? I mean, let's say you miss the boat, you see the price go to 11, it starts to retrace a little bit, and you're like, okay, well, I missed the boat at 5 cents, 6 cents, 7 cents, or maybe hopefully we'll come back to 8 or 8 or 7. But I don't think that's going to be the case, because we are now in wave 5. And we can see the bear market and all the indicators and everything that's going on right now. It's only a matter of time, and I think we'll have a little retrace, but not that much, like over the next say 12, 24 hours as the market dips a little bit. But then we are back on, and we're going to be back on in a big way. Now, I like what VFam wrote on here. He says, VET price is currently at 9 cents, back at the time of him making this. And he says, we've seen VChat increase in the past between 20 to 40x within months. When the market moves, it moves super quick. If this happened again, 5x would see us at 40 cents. 47, 10x would see us at 95 cents, 15 at $1.42, and and it goes on and on and on and on. Look, it's a little bit more complicated than that. Okay, it's not as simple as that, because you would have to understand what the market cap of VeChain would have to be in order for a 20x, or 25x, or 30x. Will it happen over time? Yes, it will. The blockchain itself, the partnerships, everything that's going on at the moment with VeChain is super, super solid. And from a longevity point of view, if you came to me and said, hey, it's in my portfolio for quite some time, it's in my portfolio for quite some time. So it will be there for as long as I can have it for. But that's only based on my own personal opinion and how much research I've done on it. But markets moving 20, 30, 40x is a long-term thing. So if you're looking for 20x and above, you've got to be willing to hold through everything, as people are starting to learn now with the recent dip. Now, I will be touching base on what it means right now, where we've gone and where we're going to be going. But before we get into that, let's jump into Atani. Let's have a look at some of the indicators. Okay, so as we begin to look at the indicators and have a look at the charts and, where we're up to at the moment, we're looking at the daily. We've got a massive gap on the MACD. We've got the RSI sitting way past the overbought phase. But what I think is really, really important is to analyze all types of indicators. So as we look at the indicators, as we look at, MACD on daily is exploding, the RSI is in the oversold, overbought, not oversold, overbought. What we can see is that we are heading towards that 100-day moving average, and we're not far away from it. In fact, we touched and then we almost touched it and then went down. So we're not far away from that. We are inside the Bollinger Band, but just by the thinnest of margins. When we look at the hourly has just about to step back into a bullish trend inside the Bollinger Band, but right above, like right at the top of the Bollinger Band. And when we look at the 4 hour, again, very bullish, very much the RSI into the overbought. And we look at the 12 hour, again, RSI into the overbought, outside of the Bollinger Band, and it's exploding at the moment. However, in saying all this, what goes up must come down at some stage. And so being outside the Bollinger Band on the 12 hour and almost out of the Bollinger Band on the daily, I do think that there will be a retrace a little bit, but not much. And then we'll be kicking back off the party. So from here, we do have to understand that, we look at the market and we look at what's been happening. We've had a good run. We've really, really had a very, very, very good run at the moment. And, we got Ethereum at $3,152. But maybe a small retrace before we kick off again. But hitting the 11 cents and then dropping down is not a warning sign that we're about to retrace back to 6 or 5 and all that. Far from it. Let's have a look at some drawings. So this was one of the drawings that I wanted to show you. A potential of how this is going to go. We're going to go towards 13. At that point, we'll hit a nice resistance, come back to 10, and then go to 16, hit and retrace at around 13, and then we'll kick off again. So that is the kind of behavior that is the kind of behavior that we are expecting. So 12 to 13 and then a swing up. And I think 50 cents will be where we really, really, truly find that very next big resistance point. The big resistance points will come from 35 to 58 cents. And I know it's broad, but at the moment we're in uncharted territory, right? So this is only assumptions at the moment because we've never been there. When we get there, I will definitely be filling you in on how that's going to go. But our road towards 80 cents, $1 is open. The lanes are open. The freeway's open. The tunnel's open. And so heading towards that you know, 26 cents, 77 cents, $1, $1.10. It is all coming, and it's so exciting to see this all unfold. If you did learn something new today, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. As always, thank you, and I look forward to see you on the next one.